Starfleet Academy Episode 2, the one that saw the pilot, I thought, we can make that worse. This is the episode where they go hunting for whales.
Humpback whales. I heard they were migrating, but they were no-show.
Without realizing they could have just found them on the bridge.
These would make an excellent practical study module for the Spatial Harmonics Lab, Captain.
We find out the science officer is just as smart as the rest of the crew.
I only know 2 things, kid.
And we find out the mystery of what was murdered during the creation of this show. It's subtext.
No conflict?
You're literally on the fence.
Given the target demographic of this show, I don't think that's a bad idea. I'm just surprised they were self-aware enough to know. I don't know why we've got a Hago face in, Star Trek. We start with sage advice from a 411-year-old Karen.
If you want to serve the galaxy, make your bed.
Alright, calm down, Jordan. It's good to see she hasn't moved past the maturity level of a 12-year-old. Nagging. We could have inspirational speeches about achieving your masculine potential, and she's like, make your bed!
Here's another.
Oh, please, enlighten me. If you could tell me why you're engaging in a panto performance, I'd love to know as well.
Get to class on time. Doesn't seem like much.
Because it isn't.
A single stitch, then another, and another.
That's the thing about male entertainment. It does really love its sewing metaphors.
The tapestry that is Starfleet.
I'm this guy. This is me. This is like one of those German rallies where everyone's saluting and there's just one guy in the middle going... But while she's waffling on, the Doctor is giving them a pointless experiment. He's giving them a self-replicating goo, where if you get it on you, covers you, and will suffocate you to death, unless somebody sprays you with a cleaning fluid. Now this guy, glasses, very excited. He's probably hoping they'll invent a technology at some point in the future, so he doesn't have to wear them anymore. Maybe contact lenses. Now obviously, he's very enthusiastic, this guy isn't interested, but it's the reaction that gets me.
Please never stand next to me again.
I'm sorry, have you forgotten the entire lesson of Barclay in Next Generation? In this, they basically replicated a scene from Star Trek Discovery.
This conversation's over. This is the end of the conversation.
Captain, if I could.
You can't.
Right, but this has
The conversation's over.
Now, from what I can tell, this is very similar to the sort of protect the baby stuff, which I've seen in American television shows kids do over there, I think, where they give you a baby doll and you have to look after it and not kill it. Well, in this, because they hate babies and they hate mothers, they've decided to replace that with goo.
Will care for a single specimen for 5 days.
Which is actually longer than anyone in this academy can go without eating their own comm badge.
Mucus is romantic.
That line would only come from a Californian. I love mucus. I have no disgust mechanism.
And you'll have to move in together and spend holidays with its parents.
And that's why you'll drink.
How do we fail? If it kills you.
I like this game a lot more. Although she's a hologram, I don't know how a goo would kill her. They could just download her again from the latest hard drive. It's probably a bit big, actually. Floppy disk. Her brain could fit on a floppy disk.
When the burn hit, the Federation had to leave Earth.
It didn't have to. Essentially, Earth turned based. The burn hit, all the alien species showed themselves for what they were. They all turned into piracy, just degenerated into their own base cultures. So proud humanity stood up as a beacon of light in the universe and said, no, f*** off. It protected itself and its people against the rampaging barbarians at the gates. And Starfleet went, oh no, but I like evil. I can now see where this critique of Starfleet is going. I tell you what, this guy's ugly even for a Ferengi. This must be hell for a Ferengi. Starfleet doesn't have money. He must be just here to nick things and sell them for latinum. I also like how we've got one of the backing dancers from Thriller in the audience. Oh look, there's a second Ferengi. Whenever I see one of these cast photos, I always like to try and play the game Spot the White Guy.
Where's Waldo? Find him before it's too late.
It's no wonder she's standing there going, can you please just obey the basics of civilization for once in your life? She's got to deal with the colonies. But as she's whining, you could say whatever you want about this time. It's got one advantage over any other time, though.
It's ours.
Wow, that was deep. Do you know the best thing about the current time? It's happening now. Oh, sorry, it's just gone. And that one did. And that one.
Xenomythology was dropped from the curriculum 100 years ago.
Based.
Shifted from understanding those to defending ourselves against them.
He's saying that is a bad thing. We stopped caring about the foreign peoples. Yeah, why though? Well, they were trying to murder us during the burn. So then we get this line in Star Trek.
He was sad and lonely because he has a teeny tiny fish dick.
All I'm saying is, judging by the size of that guy's biceps and the side effects of getting biceps that large, I wouldn't be bragging about the size of down there myself. She mentions the War College, the people that kept Earth safe during the barbarian times. Now, I can't help noticing that as they go, these are the people that kept Starfleet strong in the war of it. It's just a load of women. They're not going to be doing any fighting, are they? Now, they are alien species and very flat-chested, so I might be misjudging them. I do have some wrinkles in this jacket that I could do with getting out at some point.
That training was only for the War College.
think again!
Obviously, Jem'Hadar half Klingon. She has an excellent tactic for fighting that no one's ever seen before. Her tactic is to be so annoying, her enemies just top themselves voluntarily, just at the sound of her voice.
Sound off! It's not about self-defense, though you will learn self-defense.
My favorite thing about this is how loud the rain is, so you can't hear at all.
It's not about weapons. No, this class is about me!
Oh, I kinda just assumed that was the case when I realised you had a clunge, to be honest. I take photos of really interesting items, and then I put my face in front of them so I can't see them. This is definitely someone who takes photos of their face, covering up things more interesting than their face, which isn't difficult to do when they seem to blink at different times.
My father taught that victory is life.
Well, I suppose in war, yeah, if you don't win, you lose. He was a smart man.
My mother that today is a good day to die.
In that case, don't let me keep you from your happiness.
Yes! Death has eyes!
I don't even know what that means.
I will rip out my own stomach and choke on it.
Don't you threaten me with a good time. I mean, so far, she is probably my favourite character just because I think she speaks for the audience.
Do you hear me?
Do you hear me? I speak really loud. My voice goes. I take it back. She speaks for the audience. She's not running in fear. It's because you're insufferable.
I can always spot the runner.
I think it happens a lot to her. Oh yes, Star Trek, the best of the elite masculine institution. But as we're running, we're gonna do this. Oh, she's gonna strike fear into the heart of the Borg.
Democracy doesn't live in a place, it lives in continuous action.
Firstly, that's not true. Secondly, Starfleet doesn't care about that at all. They're a hierarchical military institution. They don't vote who's gonna be captain. This is over 1,000 years in the future. They've realised that's a load of twaddle by now. The last thing I'd want is any of these people voting.
Boldly go where no one has gone before.
No man has gone before. So then we get the intro, and where previous intros have always rolled around the ships going somewhere, exploration, the core themes of everything, man going off into space, this, well, you can tell the target demographic of the show. It focuses on plants, robots building things, and flowers. This is another reason why no man has gone here before. A florist. All the flowers are going everywhere and people are like, oh, it looks so cute, I've got potpourri. And so was the thing that no person with testosterone has ever cared about goes through the entire ship. It flies through the shopping centre and up through the hotel. And the entire thing is so feminine, you should have just made a Barbie series, that's what you should have done. So they have this guy, and I think he was in that cartoon, because I remember him from the trailer.
Pew, pew, pew button. I don't see a pew, pew, pew button. Just hit them all until it goes pew, pew.
I just don't believe people watch that either.
Stayed in Sorority prison. They would have chopped your hands into little stumpy stumps.
That's how the kids talk. She's down with them. The little stumpy stumps. She's meant to be 17. I mean, if they really wanted to use modern Zoomer language, there are better examples.
No cap, I was dead ass pressed about understanding this language. Every time you drop a gyat or it's giving, you're legit patching the English language DLC with fresh updates.
But they get given their room allocations. It turns out that they share them with another person. And Caleb thinks,
that's the definition of
roommates.
Fascism.
Right. Again, I think Tig Notaro was right.
I only know two things, kid.
They can only comprehend Marvel humor and mid-century Germans. Probably because they resemble both.
Also, with the roommate, how does anyone
hook up?
Well, you see, when a man loves his hand very much. But also, with this band of freaky weirdos, the last thing they'd be concerned with is somebody watching. In fact, the men in this show would probably be more happy watching while someone else does it to their misses themselves.
Don't hook up with anyone for like the first 6 months. That's how you find out who's a total psych.
Hint, everyone. The answer's everyone. Now, he does go and follow this advice for at least 3 minutes. Yeah, his roommate is the guy he's fallen out with, and let's be honest, they would be hate-banging as soon as that door closed. This is Kurtzman Trek, where the rarest species in the galaxy is just a normal man.
No way. No.
I'm glad to see that the best people in the galaxy are so professional and grown up. Now, for some reason, he's talking to her about the goo. He keeps sitting down next to her.
Our Neapolis strain is hardy.
And she's moving around away from him and he's just chasing her. Now, she's the captain and supposed to be professional and not do this. She should just be able to tell him to piss off if she doesn't want to. And if he wasn't a hologram, he'd definitely get reported to HR.
Bigger. Fire those kids.
Oh, he keeps trying to sidle up next to me.
It's alright, love. I doubt he's interested in you either. He's probably more interested in Lara Croft. You know, somebody pixelated.
Those kids can learn a lot from mucus like that.
Given what we saw them discuss in the hallway, I think they're going to have enough exposure to mucus as it is. Now, we find out that they're looking for a new home for the the central headquarters of Starfleet. Now, stupidly...
What about Paris?
Where it's always been.
Don't set it in Paris. Like, Paris may have been great in the 90s, but we all know who has destroyed it now. Can you imagine what it's going to be like in another couple of thousand years? They still won't have got the machetes under control.
It's in the mix.
Well, I hope you've got a chastity belt on.
I would do almost anything to end this conversation.
By the end of this series, that's how I'm going to feel about this show. There's a Betazoid ambassadorship coming. They're going to have a big fancy dinner in their honor. You're like, you were around when Betazoid was still part of the Federation. Is this a big deal if we can get them to join?
But losing the Betazoids really tipped the scales.
So the Betazoids are key to Starfleet. They're really desperately needed to be in Starfleet for Starfleet to exist as it is. For some reason. I can understand how being able to read minds, feelings, and control the minds of others would be very useful to anyone trying to engage in diplomacy, or manipulative recruitment if you were evil and didn't have any morals like a feminist Starfleet. I really fail to see what it's in it for them, though. But they walk into the captain's quarters, which you think would actually have huge security on it. You don't have people walking into the captain's quarters. What if she was showering? It'd scar you for life.
And are you ever going to make your bed?
Why would I?
Get rooming with a farm animal.
Are you ever going to make your bed? Because that's something that every teenage boy cares about.
Who has a banana allergy? Is that even a thing?
People in this show love bananas. They shove them in all the wrong places. I'm going in the fruit bowl. Oh, why are the lights gone out?
If you forget that again, I'll jettison the both of you out the airlock.
I think she's trying to straddle being a captain and a parent, and this doesn't work for both of them because you can't make threats that you're not going to carry on through. It doesn't work. If you go up to a child and say, I'm going to do this to you, and then they break the rule again and you don't do it, now they just don't trust you. So when you say something again, they don't believe you. You actually have to eject them out of an airlock now. You do realize that?
Mayor, stand at attention or leave.
Stand at attention, or I will beat the absolute living out of you. A guy like that only respects the bigger, stronger force.
Why?
He keeps trying to jump me in the middle of the night, love. I'm like, I've got a headache, and he ignores me.
Personal medical issue.
Severe allergies to him yelling, "Oyster!" it.
I hate both of you.
Well, funny. Aren't they funny?
Is this a multiple choice?
She is my favourite character. It's like, she's the only one who hates her life sufficiently enough for having to live with these people. I may be Betazoid myself because I empathise with it. So to try and drag him up on something, you keep hacking the exits. Do you want to escape?
We'll find your mother.
She's still alive.
If she isn't, we can help you with that as well. You can join her. So she gives him some spiel about, well, if we find her, I'll try and get the Federation to forgive the lethal murderous scum. But we can't find any reference to her. No reference to Goja 5. We don't know where the planet is. So for now, you're just gonna have to trust me.
He needs his ass kicked.
He does. Handcuff him and put him in a room with her for 20 minutes. She'll sort him out. I'm sure she's got plenty of objects she could use. No one else is gonna be using it on her.
He's been getting his ass kicked his whole life.
Would have thought he would have learned something by now then. But then we find out the Betazoids are idiots.
So to bring in their youth delegation.
Why? These are people that built some kind of bubble or wall of psionic force around their territory. And the first time they go to Starfleet, like, let's just bring all of our kids with them. It's like, do you even know they're safe? Because they used to be, just a couple of years ago, a species who would annihilate any aliens who came even remotely close to the planet. And you're like, let's bring our kids. This is like taking your baby to a protest. Oh, sorry, I forgot I was dealing with Californians again.
They're the ones that pressured their government to enter negotiations.
What? The children did. We've witnessed a steady IQ drop over the last 120 years, and if that continues at the current rate, by the time we get to this generation of Star Trek, it would explain a lot. We're going to allow all of our diplomatic decisions to be made by children. You just can't respect anyone that gives a crap what children think.
Activism. Love it.
See? In her case, I could understand why she thinks they outsmart her. But about like normal people? Like normal professionals that could actually get into a captain's position without DEI. So she decides to get the feet out for the lads. At this point, whether you're a foot person or not, I think we can all agree, put it away, granny.
Regulation footwear is a requirement.
Thank you. Standards. I'm so glad that the man leading the War College actually understands what Starfleet's about.
I heard that. I just don't like wearing them if I don't have to.
I don't care. It's a requirement. This guy's like, oh, you are filth.
In all seriousness, it's unsafe.
I don't care whether it's unsafe. It's the standard. You shall meet it, or you shall be kicked out of Starfleet because you can't meet the standard of, well, your betters.
Stub my toe, get a splinter. I signed the waivers.
I don't care whether you signed waivers. A rule, morality, standards doesn't need some kind of level of harm in order to be required. It's the standard that you must meet. If you can't meet it, we don't need you. You're beneath us.
Bare feet pick up electrons that reduce inflammation.
I can stop you there, love. Nobody cares about you carrying it.
Cells and cytokines and stimulate brain.
Piss off. should be the only answer.
I just need to let the little piggies out to pasture.
Well, you can do that in the privacy of your own vessel as we eject you into space.
You know what I mean?
I can confidently say.
Why is he nervous? He's the commander of the War Office talking to a woman. He's over a foot taller than her. This would be like getting intimidated by the catering staff.
Negotiations so you can bring children. Clearly, I've misheard.
Oh, if only we could have someone with dangly bits leading Starfleet. Maybe we could get this shit back on the road.
It's an opportunity to teach our cadets conflict resolution.
This isn't how you train cadets. This is the future of Starfleet and the galaxy. It's an incredibly important meeting, and you're like, let's just bring all these 2 IQ fools along. The same people that eat their comm badge.
Advocating for social change matters.
It depends which way. If it's towards care-based morality, that's evil. If it's towards justice-based morality, then you can wear some pissing shoes.
Cynicism's pretty adorable.
You're adorable. You're insufferable.
If you want to talk about the good old days, I have more of them than you.
I agree. You are very old. But I think we can all agree there is a difference in competence level between a child, an adult, and somebody that never matured past the age of 13 after 400 years. But she says we had to abandon Betazed. They went through hell with all the marauders. That's why they put up a wall and stayed behind it. Essentially, Starfleet betrayed them. Starfleet promised them protection, didn't follow through with it, abandoned them to the filth and the barbarians at the gates, and Betazed looked after itself. Right up until Starfleet decided they needed them again. And they think they're the good guys.
Their kids are saying, let's rejoin the Federation, because they don't want to live like that anymore.
Luckily, they're children, and so we ignore them because they don't know what they're talking about. This is why these kind of shows love going, you should listen to children, because it's like, they're thick and stupid and we can control them. You're actually subjecting them to really horrific ideas. And then you're like, we should put them in charge. No. No.
He's an isolationist who campaigned his presidency on keeping that wall up.
I love this guy. He's amazing. Earth was isolationist. Betazed was. This sounds like the perfect place.
He's also a Betazoid, an empath who can read our feelings, Cranky.
You definitely want the stoic masculine man to be talking to them, not the whiny, insufferable 400-year-old woman with the mental age of 13. So they're both talking about how, oh, if we get them in, other people will join, hundreds of new species that can all help us, and help us defend the Federation. It's just all about recruiting resources and power for themselves. This isn't the old Starfleet. This is the new, selfish, care-based, virtue-signaling morality, where it's all about self-interest. Look, we need them. This is amazing. This is our one chance to improve the Federation. If we can only manipulate them and recruit them, then it'll be great for us.
These negotiations are far too important to allow children to attend.
True. You don't even allow these people to choose their own bedtime, let alone negotiate interplanetary affairs.
Children are our ambassadors to now.
What? I understand you're 411, and so I probably have some kind of mental degenerative disease. But the phrase is always, the kids are our future, not now. It is your job to create the best situation now, so that they can inherit it from you. The children don't create the future. They're supposed to stand on your shoulders once you've done the work and left them a better world.
Children have seen and experienced things far beyond their years.
Yeah, and I've been watching Starfleet Academy. We're all damaged, love. But this guy's like, look, he's bringing their children. If he does value young voices, a young demographic, we have to show that we do too. It is exactly the same as the way they got rid of all competence in every industry. They were like, no, you shouldn't be there because otherwise you'll just be an ist and a phobe and you must stand down so that your incompetent lessers can take your place. And he's like, no, the adults need to leave out the room so the indoctrinated kids can take over. I'm like, no, they eat their own comm badge. He should have knocked her out. That would have been hilarious. He just like backhands her down the stairs.
Shortest distance between 2 points is not a straight line.
Yes, it is. I tell you, she said one line and she's already wrong.
The laws of physics hate me.
Everyone does. I've not met a person who's got, I love Tig Notaro.
I should not be here.
Based.
Girl with the face begging to be singled out.
I thought you with the face begging to be single, which coming from that would have been one hell of an insult. But she's like, I'm not supposed to be here, therefore science itself doesn't like me. She's just basically a massive narcissist obsessed with herself who thinks that the neutral laws of the universe cares about her at all. They don't care about anything, they just are. You're not a TARDIS being repulsed by a fixed point in time. So she does like, yeah, and look, it thumbs up. The other woman lowers her hand and then...
You're absorbing all the energy in the room. For real, you're like a sponge.
Like, you should know, you hoover up all the food. She really needs to pick a struggle. You can't be fat and an arsehole, it doesn't work. She ate her comm badge and now has the nerve and the gall to attack someone else, but I think that's just the point. I think they know the hologram is a horrific character, and so what they're doing is by making another person that you're either not going to like or you're going to feel sorry for or just comes across as mentally deficient. By getting her to attack the other one, you're going to take her side and like her more. Rather than getting her to do something that you actually agree with, they're going to make her a victim and hope it works. But Tig is, I travel through time, but you could put up with me waffling for 5 minutes. I really can't. The lights turn off, the lessons shut down, and she starts working on some console in the middle of the room. So Caleb starts playing with himself. Of course, she hates that. How dare you take your attention off me despite the fact I'm not teaching you.
Class not riveting enough for you?
It's not even riveting enough for me. And I've watched the rest of the episode.
But there's nothing you can teach me that I don't already know about temporal mechanics.
I don't believe that because he's just a space hobo. He ran away as a kid, committed some crimes, and we're supposed to think he's some educated academic genius. He's an idiot. He's never been taught anything. He's never taught himself anything except crime. Who are you? I'm Caleb. I didn't ask your name. I asked who you are. And she goes on to list what she thinks is important for a person.
What do you stand for? Have you ever seen a ghost? Made a mixtape?
Yeah, she's a very shallow person. What do you stand for? Do you like music? I mean, if she really wanted to find out who he was, ask him who should be in the kitchen. So he goes, look, here's an easy question.
The name of this cadet.
I have no idea. I've watched both of these episodes twice. I don't know her name. I'm not sure anyone's ever said her name. All we know is she's eaten a comm badge. That was enough for me to know I don't need to know her name. She knows her name.
Starfleet means being open to the people around you.
No, it's about submitting to authority. It's about hierarchy and patriarchal values. It's about elitism, being the best, competition, self-improvement, and most of all, not being a whiny little git.
That connection is where time and space really live.
Time is the friends we made along the way. She seems really stupid.
I only know 2 things, kid.
I believe her. But she says old age and treachery triumphs over her youth and a big mouth, and they're both them like, oh yeah, I want to be old and treacherous. Because that's where the good people are, you know, treachery. I can't help thinking that the wrong evil values are being taught to these kids.
But what do I know? I'm old and boring.
And very self-aware by the sounds of it. She covers him goo, because no one wants to cover her and their goo. And I know what you're thinking, there's probably a point to this goo thing, right? It's going to play into the story. Chekhov's gun is the example everyone uses for, if you have something in an episode, it must play a part in the story. Plays no part in the story. I think someone on the staff just really wanted to cover Caleb in their goo. And spray their white stuff on him.
Mucus neutralized.
For now, until you get back to your trailer anyway. With that, he decides to leave. A hologram tries to stop him, and he gives her a few basic maths questions, work out this Fibonacci sequence, work out how many moves these are.
Triple decaf, long shot, half and half latte, double.
For some reason, that freaks her out, despite the fact that she will be working on a server in here that can run starships. It can definitely do maths.
Where are you going?
He's on a wall, presumably over the wall. Oh, we're gonna do a romance because she is a whore. The 6 months thing goes out the window because she might as well just be throwing her knickers at him right now. That thing on her neck is to suppress her emotions, and I can understand why, because otherwise, she probably would have gone round every single guy on Betazed by now.
Why are you climbing the fence?
Fenceonomics class?
And she seems to really have a thing for the mentally deficient.
Did you kill it?
She doesn't even know what a hologram is. It's very strange. Holograms existed before the burn, so Betazed would have access to holographic technology. She would know what one was, and it isn't alive. So she sees him on top of a fence, climbing over the external fence, and I tell you what, you can understand why she likes him thick, because, well...
You're trying to leave.
Alright, Captain Obvious. Because she has empathic ability, she basically tells him his own character, you're trying to leave, you're not sure whether you want to, or you might want to stay.
No conflict.
You're literally on the fence.
Subtext. We knew you weren't really paying attention. You were on your phones, as no one can actually stick an episode of this in one go. So we'll just tell you all the character motivations. I think my favourite part of this wall is how it has footholds all the way up for you to specifically climb over it and escape.
Can I just have a meltdown in peace?
Yeah, because the one thing that women absolutely adore is emotionally weak, pathetic male that can't handle his own feelings. Especially when they get subjected to every other person's feelings at all time. Betazoids would really like stoic people who aren't basically basically assaulting them with emotions constantly. But she leaves, he gets stopped by security, and the most important diplomatic meeting in Federation history is happening at the same time, of which she catches up to. I'm sorry I'm late. I don't know where they're signing. They're telepathic. They can talk to each other in each other's heads. This doesn't know that. It's not Star Trek. It doesn't know the law. It doesn't know how they work. For some reason, it thinks these people can be deaf and need to sign to each other because they had a checkbox they needed to tick, and so they broke canon in order to have people that can't do the job in an acting role. Look, if you are an actor, you do need to be able to speak. This is just part of the job, and if you can't meet that standard, then you shouldn't be able to be it. If you don't have any arms, you can't work on an oil rig. This is basic reality. Now, he signs to her behind the father's back because he doesn't want the father to know about it. But if he didn't want the father to know about it, and the father's deaf, he could just say words. In fact, signing is more likely to make the father know about it because the father understands sign language, but he can't hear you speak.
Everyone, please, sit.
So she's now signing to the children who don't know sign language because they have ears. You can speak to the children, but for some reason, when there's one deaf person in the nearby vicinity, everyone starts using sign language for no reason whatsoever. Like there is any point to learning it unless you actually have like a deaf friend. So he starts going, we know we failed you after the burn. It's a great opening. We know we let you die when you needed it most, but please come back to us now. We need you more than you need us. He says we have deep admiration for how you kept your planet whole during this troubling time.
Now the Federation is not whole without Betazed.
When you needed us, we weren't there for you, but now we need you. You should join us. I don't know why anyone should care about this selfish, effeminate attempt at parasitical resource acquisition. And so rightly, he turns them down. It's like, I appreciate you realize that you treated us horribly and you failed, but we know you want to lower our walls. We're not going to do it. We'd need 12 battle-ready starships. We'd need 6 seats on the Federation Security Council and a veto.
Without consensus.
And they're like, oh no, what about democracy? Actually, that is how the UN works, though. Important players have a veto because why should lesser, weaker states have power over the important people? Everyone isn't equal, and so they shouldn't have an equal voice. In fact, if you're not one of the main guys, why should you listen to it all? And Starfleet needs them more than they need Starfleet.
Veto without consensus strips us of our core identity.
No, you already did that. Your core identity was about hierarchy and elitism and competence.
Your identity isn't our concern.
Based. Look, you want us. I don't know why we should care about your feelings, to be honest. You just need to grow up, Starfleet, alright. And at that point, they decide in the middle of the most important negotiations to dump a guy covered in goo next to everybody who's making a scene, shouting, winding everyone up. And she's like, oh, gentle parenting, don't do that, you're gonna be naughty. Shoot him with a phaser. Someone backhand him round the face. For the love of God, punish him. So he starts making as much noise as possible, fiddling with his ear, trying to really distract everyone and destroy peace negotiations for a galaxy. The Doctor's trying to stop him rather than just elbow him in the face.
Of identity, not the negation of it.
No, don't do that. You're gonna be naughty. She is the worst Starfleet captain. Janeway would have shot her in the face with a quantum torpedo.
Progress is the acceptance of identity, not the negation of it.
That's why progress is evil. Doesn't matter what your identity is. It doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't even mean it matters. What it does probably mean is that you should be treated differently than other people depending on, well, your place. You need Betazed more than they need you, so they have all the leverage. It doesn't matter what you want as your identity. That's irrelevant. What matters is the physical reality of the situation.
That is an abstraction.
Based! I love this Betazed guy. Yeah, sorry, I care about my people. You're like, I want to be a dancing pixie. Well, nobody cares. We don't have to tolerate you, though. Tolerance is weakness.
Until someone makes it real.
That doesn't even make any sense. It would still be an abstraction.
For Betazed, real is the spilt blood of our elders and children.
Absolute boss. This is just man versus absolute cowardly. We have people attacking us. We have enemies fighting us. We have to care about the barbarian savages outside our borders. So if you can't deal with them, you have nothing we want. Why would we drop our borders and let the savages in? These two ask for a tour of the premises. Like, oh yeah, we'll get you guides. She's like, no. Yeah, I want that prat over there. Yeah, the guy who for some reason's leaning over a pond. No, we can do better than him.
Examples of the excellence we strive for.
There's probably about 2 of those, though, because the rest of them are physically moronic. We get a scene where he's trying to basically negotiate power, 50 hours off, blah, 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 blah. Because I'm not going to go and talk to the hot exotic foreigner unless you do something for me. Yeah, that was never going to play out well, was it? She negotiates with him rather than just going, I'm your captain, do as you're told, or I'll shoot you in the head. He bites into what he thinks is an apple, turns out to be incredibly spicy because
I burned off whatever nerve endings I had like 300 years ago.
her taste buds are so destroyed, she can now even handle pineapple on pizza.
Tarima Sadal is a very influential Betazoid youth movement.
She's an insufferable know-it-all who doesn't know anything about her planet, but somebody older than her told her to, and she just took it all on board and believed them. Basically, she wants to indoctrinate her just like her homeworld has. She wants to lead a revolution of a foreign nation.
I serve like this.
Yeah, he throws the apple up in the air, and then just listen to the audio. Her bin plays the Star Trek theme tune. Her bin. We can have next replicators going, coffee, the final frontier. But they make a deal that he'll lead her around as long as he gets access to the Federation's planetary records for an hour. And if he can't find it in an hour, he'll let her do it. The thing is, she already has access to that, and she's already gone through the database, so what he's asking for is literally useless, but he's too thick to know.
Dismissed.
Can't dismiss yourself.
But I did, though.
No, you didn't. It requires her to dismiss you because she's your superior. It makes you her inferior. You can't overrule her. This is a hierarchy. But because in this, it's all about equality and everyone's the same, she doesn't do anything to him. She should put a force field on her door, put him in the brig, and leave him there for a month, see how he likes it once he's been starved for a bit. So he leads her around the place. For some reason, they're still using all the old coffee machines, rather than just a replicator box, even though it replicates it. Like, do you even know why you need this portafilter bit? Because you don't if it's replicated. They go around flirting.
Turner must have been flush. This wing is shiny.
Zoomer phrases, but as if they're written by an old boomer that is down with the kids.
And that he made everyone learn Welsh, and he didn't even speak Welsh, so, you know.
Yeah, she laughs. It's so funny, he made everyone Welsh. She has no idea what Wales is. She don't know who the Welsh are, and she will never have heard Welsh. Most of the Welsh can't speak Welsh. So then we go to playing Space Frisbee with a holographic frisbee, rather than replicating a real one, I don't know why. We have Space Keepy Uppy with a holographic ball, because we couldn't just replicate an actual ball. I'm sensing a pattern here. It is, we have no creativity or imagination, so all we've done is replicate modern times and just said hologram. That's why the coffee makers were exactly what we have now, but replicator. If you notice actual Star Trek, Voyager invented their own games. Star Trek invented 3D chess. This, they're too thick. So he says, what, you've never been outside Betazed's wall? She's like, no. So he asks the obvious question.
Why?
A lot of us don't want to live behind it anymore.
Okay, but why though? You didn't answer his question. Why don't you just leave? They clearly can leave because they came here. But this entire episode acts as if there's only two options. Drop the wall and let all of the savage barbarians from foreign places come and destroy their nation, or keep the wall up and keep everyone out, when they could just leave when they wanted to through specific places. It's very strange. Oh, it's open the borders or nothing. She never does say why she hasn't left there before, by the way. Never answered. But it's like, what were you doing when you found me by that wall?
Humpback whales. I heard they were migrating, but they were no show.
And then she went into Starfleet Academy and she found loads of whales.
Sometimes it's just good to see something really big.
You should join Starfleet. The only reason Starfleet ships can now rearrange themselves is to fit in the wide loads trying to fit down a corridor. Oh, we're gonna have to expand for this one.
You know, a live thing that's big that just doesn't really care about you.
Yeah, like I said, the bridge crew.
Just do not matter to this whale.
Until they get hungry. Then you're the most important thing they can think of. But he's like, nobody thinks about what the whale has lost. He's got an whole ocean to swim on. And then they think they're going to be deep. They're not deep.
Are you a whale or a thing that gets lost?
This is someone that's been reading Milking Farm. It really is. This is one of those kind of lines which doesn't make any sense to try and trick people to think it's deep. But the more you understand it, the more stupid it sounds.
Let you know when I figure it out.
It's alright, mate. You don't need to. I'm not bothered.
You never say excreting an orifice to me again?
I don't believe that for a second. You'd love her orifice. But he says, I've got to do a thing. I'm after a planet that no one can access. So they go off to the database, and she's going along because she thinks she's like, oh, this sounds illegal. This sounds criminal. It sounds like we're breaking the law. She thinks he's this bad boy, which is why she's interested in him. It's like, no, he had permission to do this for an hour.
Computer, reduce safety filters, pull up Goja 5 and then...
Can we just all agree that if a computer has child safety filters on it, the child going reduce the filters, it's not going to just do it for you. You're going to need some kind of authorization. But for him, it's like, yeah, sure. What do you want to see? Katie Price's minge. It's the size of Mars. He scans for his mum, though. She doesn't turn up. And I don't know why he thinks this is going to help him with a girl. Does he really think they're into mommy's boys? I mean, seriously. I miss my mummy when I'm at school. Yeah, that's going to make her like the Sahara Desert.
Someone was on that planet.
Wow, she's a smart one. Bet there's been a person on that planet at some point in history. Because Subtext is dead, we're just telling each other everything. We met each other about 30 seconds ago. But we're going to skip all of that and the character development and actually doing things that bond us together. And just assume I'm just going to act as if we've been together for years. If you trust me and let me behind the curtain and know your deepest, darkest secrets, I'll do the same to you.
Oh, you mean like right now? The trusting happens now?
Yeah, it's a bit fast, isn't it? I can kind of understand that an empath who can basically read your thoughts and feel everything that you feel may get friendly with people faster than other people, or may trust you because they can kind of get a sense of whether you're trustworthy or not. But the moment you put it in a romance, it's like, this is stupid. So she scans her bracelet, which for some reason gives Starfleet access to her nation's secret files, and it just works. Oh yeah, we're accessing the Betazed database. They scan for the planet again and find it because this is a new planet that formed after the burn, and it was within the Betazed barrier, which is why no one could detect it, and it wasn't known by the Federation. And she tells him, Goja 5 is where you go when you want to escape. Surely if you wanted to escape, you'd leave the psionic barrier. There's a whole universe outside your wall. You're a prisoner. If only you open it up and let the barbarians come in and slaughter your entire species. At least you'll be allowed to be free. Think of yourself. Be a selfish narcissist who shouldn't be in charge of anything. Destroy your entire population for your weird care-based morality, and then I'll get what I want.
There's a whole universe outside your wall. Ask me about it.
Remember, he's part of Starfleet, and his entire life has been horrific. He's a criminal, he's murdered people, beat them up, he's been hurting innocents his entire life. He was going to prison to have his hands cut off, and he's like, the universe is so amazing, you should be part of it. They just want to destroy Betazed. They're all evil.
I've seen things on my many travels.
Mostly the inside of a prison cell, you filth.
What are you, like an old prospector?
Oh.
No, he's just a basic criminal.
Betazed has naked weddings.
That's the one piece of lore that this place has got right. I'm not surprised. The only thing they know and get correct is, yeah, they are kind of perverts, though, aren't they? I won't be surprised if they try and put one on in the show. Now, negotiations pick back up. They stand above them to watch. He comes back and offers them about half what they asked for. Only 3 out of 12 warships, though. We'll allow you to speak about new members, but you're not having a veto. It's like, we keep having raiders attack our barriers. The psionic barrier is the only thing that kept us safe. And this guy's just like, well, that's just because your technology's slipping. We have the technology to save you. We're not going to give it to you, though. Not unless you join. He's running a protection racket. It's a nice planet you've got there. Be a shame if something happened to it, though, wouldn't it? This Federation is evil. They've already said that Betazed joining is only to help themselves, but they're still trying to exploit and manipulate it to them as if they're doing a favor to Betazed.
You're asking me to take chances on people I haven't even met yet.
Worse, he's asking you to take a chance on children. Children who eat their own comm badges, who aren't meritocratic, hierarchical, who aren't competent in their role, because a lot of them got there through nepotism.
I'm asking you to take a chance on them.
Oh god, that's what I said!
Where's Waldo? Find him before it's too late!
This one's a complete moron. This one's more obsessed with his back end than he's not even a fighting Klingon, so he's the worst Klingon that's ever existed. The one on the left is the only person that seems to actually know what's happening and acts like an actual Starfleet officer, admittedly one on heat. I wouldn't trust any of the other people, though. But they saw this disaster. She wants to go and talk to her father, and he's like, no, let's just run and hide from all the adults. Now, to be fair, despite knowing that she's got a responsibility to her planet to go to her father, he's extremely convincing.
You want to see a thing?
With intelligence, wit, and charisma like that, I can understand why she can't resist him. It's the future of my entire world. Or a thing. She didn't stand a chance. He drags her down to what I assume is some kind of basement level, where they meet a whale.
A teachable moment.
No, not that one. No, for some reason they built an underwater place with actual whales. And I know what you're thinking. What does this have to do with the plot? Nothing.
She's pregnant.
Oh god, don't tell them, they'll kill it. Bad enough as it is in the future, they'll probably just start beaming it out of people. So then, she proves herself to be, well, a complete idiot.
Galaxy is paradise.
No, it isn't. You're talking to somebody who was actively making it worse. Getting beaten up, starving, killing people, breaking the law, crime. Behind her wall, it was a paradise. Behind her wall, it was a utopia because it was a homogenous society who could rule themselves under their own laws that applied to their own people and their own culture. Outside in the universe with the rest of the scum, it's awful. But she sees one whale and she's like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna destroy my planet. Funniest things about Hollywood is they have no idea that they're evil, and so they're just honest. It's like, no, we are all completely deluded lunatics who'll happily harm all of our own people in favor of evil people on the other side of the wall.
You get to live in it.
You can too.
He was literally starving 3 days ago. In prison, where they were going to cut his hands off and then make him dig with stumps. 3 days ago. And he's like, yeah, you can be in prison with me. This wouldn't be so bad if she wasn't an empath and could read his emotions and know that he's scum.
I want to let it all out and scream.
No.
Oh, that reminds me of the red carpet. And they're like, oh, we might be about to lock rat holes. Until the father turn up with them and like, we've been looking everywhere. Like, why? He had a comm badge on. You can scan for it. You should know exactly where he is. Computer, where is that useless criminal I shouldn't have allowed in the building? So after her father finding out that she's been slagging it around with the local commoners.
Friction here, but not reckless disrespect.
I cannot apologize enough.
Although I did know this was going to happen when I sent her off with a criminal murderer. If he's pissed now, imagine how pissed he'd be when he finds out the low quality of filth that they've been sticking his daughter with.
I don't know how my mom got through.
It's not about you.
Except it is, though, isn't it? It shouldn't have been about him, but she made it about him. This is an incredibly important diplomatic mission, and therefore adults should have handled it. Competent people who have risen up the elitist hierarchy, so you only have the best of the best to do the most important job, so they don't destroy the world for all the rest of the commoners. And you went, no, we should have kids involved that don't know what they're doing, so they can mess it up. This is her fault, because she knew what he was like. So then we get a bit of opera. I don't know if that's her voice, but whoever it is has a nice voice. It's very funny to me they've gone for this aristocratic feeling opera. A formal occasion, and then you've just got a load of useless kids hanging around. Just people at an event far above their station in their social class. That's why he's spitting food out in this image.
Am I an optimist or a masochist?
I mean, I'm watching, so I'm the masochist. You're just malevolent.
You haven't murdered the kid yet, so that's a step.
You can tell he's met her before. This is the first child you haven't slaughtered at the first opportunity. Most of yours didn't even make it out the womb.
Still time.
Oh, you threatened me with a good time. So after her father has found her slumming it with a local degenerate, he's decided to let her out the house like that. But the main thing on my mind is, if you're going to wear a dress like that, you actually have to be able to fill it out. Otherwise, it's like, what is the point of covering them up, love? They're pretty much like mine. So the serving staff seem to be slaves. And look, I'm English, I don't care about this kind of stuff, but when it comes from an American show, and you know, American culture, especially Californians who think about all of this stuff and love identities, talk about it all the time in their TV shows, I can't help noticing what they've made the server look like, because she seems to be robotic, so they could have made her look like anything, but they wanted their servers to look like this. And then, didn't even give her a brain. This is basically the internals of a Reddit moderator's face. Or Kim Kardashian. So they tell him, we're going to put our headquarters in Paris. Oh, well, it seems that everything stays the same. Would you agree that progress isn't possible without change? And you always get to the question, why is progress good in the first place? What happens if you actually are great where you are? Shouldn't you just keep it that way? It's like, no, we want to change it. Yeah, but why? Because if you are already great where you are, changing it will just make it worse. You can only actually improve something if you have the correct values to begin with, and Starfleet is motivated by evil values, and therefore anything they change or progress towards will just be more progress towards ever more evil ends. Which is why they suddenly start thinking, hang on, we can manipulate this guy with this. I think I've got a plan. We can get his planets and get all of his people killed. It's gonna be glorious.
Most people who say they want progress don't really want to change.
That's because they've got more sense and morals.
Which often makes both impossible.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. We can go back. We were better.
Judgy as hell, and I don't care if he can sense that I think that.
Good. Judging someone is just, you don't meet my standards, so you don't meet his standards. You're also, by saying that, judging him, so what, you don't actually mind judgment, you just don't want somebody to judge you because you know that you can't meet his standards. Once again, when you tear away the virtue signaling of it all, it's actually just a putrid, rotting mess.
One-on-one, their best, our best, to the death.
Okay, I'll take that. Look at Tignataro. You should know my stats. We have to fight over the last U-Haul.
What is wrong with you?
Wrong? She's Klingon. And Jemadar. Of course she wants a fight.
Maybe I don't fit here.
It's the only thing she's got correct this entire series.
As a Betazoid, I would hope that you would sense our good intentions and...
Yes, that's always the strongest argument. Oh, well, but what about your feelings? What about my feelings? I don't care about your feelings. I care about the reality of the situation. Justice does not care about your feelings. Doesn't matter what you want to do. It matters what's actually good. It matters what's actually possible. It's the deeds that matter, not your feelings about them. You can't protect them. They'd all die. It doesn't matter what... Oh, I can't believe their planet got wiped out. We had such good intentions. I don't know why we've got a Hago face in, Star Trek. She's like, look, I've been researching your culture. Anime. That's not anime. Not quite, anyway. It's very specific to... I half expected her just to start whipping out a tentacle. He'd love that. He could say the word orifice again. Well, at least he represents the feelings of the audience. Although I really don't know why they put this in a kid's show. I really don't. The brother sees her leaving with him and comes along to go, I hope you slag. I hope you go and get some. No, that's the conversation.
Smells a lot.
Smells like you.
In fact, he's so supportive and complimentary of him. I thought he was setting her up as like a power play. No. He's just like, yeah, I love my sister when she goes for criminal murderers.
I feel safe with you. Go get him.
Go get him, you slag.
I didn't become a little bit of a slag. I became a total slag.
Now, I do question how she knows to curtsy, which would not only just be a human tradition, but an ancient human tradition. It's ancient for us, it definitely would be for them. Mind you, at least she is one of the few women in the entire show to actually wear a dress.
There are upsides to discipline.
You don't end up with filth. You actually make them improve themselves to meet the standard. So they carry on the flirting, and it's all, oh, they've been together for 5 minutes, and she's already jumping his bones. He asked her about the neck thing, which basically, she's such a strong empath that dampens her, like, spikes of ability. It lowers her down to a normal level. If she takes it off, she's dangerous. I can only assume she means like a Vulcan who really needs to get his end away.
It's a neuroinhibitor.
Ah, no one in Starfleet would need one of them. Their brains are already low activity.
Doesn't scare me.
Maybe it should. Their entire society specializes in telepathic abilities, and they feel the need to go, no, you've got to have that on, because otherwise disastrous things are going to happen and you could kill people. This guy has absolutely no idea what she's just said or what the side effects would be. And he's like, I don't need it, just take it off, it'll be fine. He just wants her to be more emotional so she's easy. That's all it is. He wouldn't be able to resist me if you took that off. So she's like, your turn. Tell me your deepest, darkest secret. That's never gone wrong. Tell me the thing that you're keeping from me for a good reason. So he tells her everything. I lost my mom, I was outside, just trying to survive. I broke the law, I hurt people. I just needed to find food. And there's so many rules that I now have to obey. And I'm only here to try and find my mum, which is what I was looking for decades. And rather than going, oh, it's so horrific that you lost your mom, now it makes so much sense why you're interested in Goja 5. She goes,
that's why you care about Betazed lowering its wall?
And he's like, what? I mean, it is true, but they've known each other for 30 seconds, and she's going, oh no, I thought we were going to be married. Like, why didn't you just tell me? I didn't keep anything from you. It's because I don't know who you are, love. You appeared on this planet 2 hours ago, that's why.
Because I didn't realize that my traumatic childhood was part of the tour.
Based. Yeah, love, I don't have to do what you want just because you've got a pretty face, alright? So she tries to guilt trip him, manipulate him, use the standard kind of tactics, and he's just like, I don't know. None of that's gonna work on me, love. I can just find another one. You're nothing special.
Were you just using me this whole time?
I mean, duh. Why do you think he wanted to get inside you?
I thought it was because you liked me, not because you were trying to...
He doesn't know who you are. He met you 2 hours ago.
Manipulate me.
It was because I liked you.
Why?
No, it wasn't. It was because you were pretty. He's known you for 2 hours. The only thing he's got to go off is your genetics. And let's face it, he's surrounded in this school by the most ugly of monsters. He was starving and you were a sandwich.
Because I knew you for 5 minutes.
Finally, we've got some masculinity in the entire episode. Oh no, I can't believe I can't manipulate you into doing my bidding just by existing. So I was like, yeah, go back to your gods. It's too late to apologize now. You had absolutely no consideration about my life at all. You just thought you mattered and were central of the universe. Piss off, love. So this guy is still being as based as ever. Captain, why did you leave? Was Starfleet no longer up to your standards?
Federation allowed me to question standards.
Really shouldn't though, should it? Starfleet should set the standard and you rise to meet it or get kicked out. If Starfleet has standards and you can't meet them, well just bye. We don't need you anymore.
Question or lower them?
Thank you! He pays attention to her actions, not her words.
By allowing a criminal into your academy.
You're really awful at your job, aren't you? You're destroying Starfleet from the inside. This is what DEI does. Her only defense is, well, he committed the crimes on another planet, and so because that's a foreign legal system, by our legal system, he's not guilty. I'm like, no, but he did do the crimes, right? We saw him. He attacked a load of people on a vessel. He broke their nose. He could have killed them. He broke out of prison and away from punishment. He may not have been through a court on Earth, but she knows that the actions that he did would have been found guilty on a court on Earth. But she appeals to the lack of some kind of academic rigor. She's like, well, the procedure hasn't found him guilty technically. And so the actions that we know he did by fact, they don't exist.
Outside our jurisdiction, so he's not a criminal here.
You'd stop talking to her at this point. If you ever meet anybody like, don't talk to them. Those people are pure evil. They know they're evil, and you don't want them in your life. They will actively harm you, and they will enjoy it, and that is their intention. If they understand reality and try and come up with some kind of abstract excuse for it, they want the harm to happen and to continue happening.
Ian.
Everyone knows it's true, but no one will tell the clone she needs to improve. So he goes through. Starfleet requires all these tests. We know that can't be true for this because everyone's an idiot. But she's just like, no, he passed the test on the way here. He didn't need training. He learnt it in a dumpster.
The traditional paths to Starfleet disappeared for many of these kids, sir.
Yeah, that's the problem. You just let anyone with 35 IQ through the door. That's why everyone there is an idiot. But she goes and says, I used to love Betazed, but now you're letting your walls define you. So he gets mad at her. It's like, you can't tell me what to do. You'd want me to ignore all the actions that you've done. The commander steps in to try and calm him down because she's just evil scum. And he's like, no, I'm telling this gardening tool what for.
We came here hoping for actions, but received only empty words.
And that's all the modern effeminate thing does. It's a care-based morality. It only cares about feelings. It ignores deeds. That's why you can be a criminal. Like, oh no, we've got to let him off because his environment. And he ends the negotiations. If the show had ended there, perfect. She could have got what she deserved, ejected out of an airlock, and everyone would have been happy.
He came to say no.
No, it's talking to her that made him say no. He's an empath. He can recognize evil when he feels it. She goes and talks to Caleb and goes,
and the Trothans find you because you stole from them.
So she knows he's a criminal. She knows he broke the law. She knows everything she just said was a lie. And she said that to a telepath and wondered why he got pissed off with her. But as she's leaving, he says,
no, in physics, there's always something you can build.
Does it even make sense? A lot of physics is maths. You're like, we can write a maths equation? I don't even know what he means. But she hears that and goes,
you're a genius.
I can only assume she's comparing his intellect to hers. So the Betazed delegation is leaving and they're like, no, you need to, one more chance. I just need one more chance. You have to convince him to give us another chance. I'm so sorry. I mean, I know that you were completely to blame and I was completely right, but for some reason I've got to apologize to you. Because I need something from everything. Everything is emotional manipulation in this entire show. There is no morals, there is no values, there's no themes, there's no concepts. It is just selfish manipulation and exploitation. Starfleet in this is a parasite.
The Federation, they're the villain of my story too.
Well, I mean, you made a great start to convincing her. You should join us, we're evil. That might appeal to your care-based morality though, I'm not sure. Could have bonded, but instead I told you to leave. He's like, you came to this place, saw everything was beautiful, and that makes you want to leave your planet. It's like, yeah, but this is like if you go to certain foreign countries and you get led around by the delegates and you only see the parts of the nation that they want you to see. Doesn't mean it's a good nation. It means that they gave you a guided tour to the best parts. So she goes and probably emotionally exploits her father to get him to listen to him again. And she lies to him. He's a telepath, he should know, but for some reason doesn't.
I'm more of a traditionalist than I was willing to admit. And
he knows. He knows she's lying to him. He's like, you're not a traditionalist. You don't even wear shoes. You disgusting bint.
Blinded me from seeing what can be.
We could see what we can be when we have been unburdened from what we have been.
Examining the past, we become something entirely new.
Wait, was that? Did you play Back to the Future music in that? But she says, if you rejoin the Federation, we will build our new seat of government at your planet. That gives us a reason to protect you. Now, this shouldn't convince him. Because what they're actually saying is, we need you so much. We will give this new group of strangers just our most important thing and allow them to spy on us and control us and manipulate us because we're on their planet. This should actually expose to him how weak they are. But it's played off as some emotional moment and he looks at it, he's like, oh no, actually, that's so amazing, this is progress. Now remember, they can come and go through their wall whenever they want, but they're still like, no, you need to lower it. You need to lower your borders. Just let all the other planets and all the other species, they should just be able to come into your borders. And he's like, oh, this is, actually, no, that's really convincing, actually. And she stands up, and he stands up, and then Caleb stands up. And that makes everybody stand up. All the kids stand up. And I mean, The officers of Starfleet, they don't, not at first. It's the children that do. Useless children that know nothing about the world, no experience, and have the IQ of a spoon, stand up all around the room. And he looks upon their gormless faces, the people who have to be told their own bedtime, and says...
Get.
What?
Get.
Giat?
Get.
Look, I know he's talking to a load of useless children, but he didn't have to speak Zoomer. They're like, yes, Giat! 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 Wait, what was that? Da, 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 da. Like, are you just stealing music from other places now? Now, obviously, none of that should have been convincing. Just going, oh, we'll build a building on your planet. It's like, okay, we'll just drop our borders and let the invasive species enter. He went from based leader of a nation to absolutely useless cock to absolutely useless coward instantaneously. The first thing we see after that is him going, oh, we can go to Gorgia 5. Now we sent Starfleet intelligence in immediately. Your mum got off it. She's fine. And it turns out, yes, everything he did was for self-interest, just like everyone else in Starfleet. I don't know what this is, I just know it's not Star Trek. That was basic propaganda wrapped up in a thin veneer of romance with the worst story of all time. You actually had a based guy going there, and she's like, no, he has to change his mind. Previously, what Star Trek did was would show things from different angles, and then, you know, the decision for what side you left was up to you. There is a correct side, obviously a moral and an immoral one, but in this, it is just evil being victorious. You've destroyed an entire planet. Now, of course, in the show it'll work because they're all delusional, just like California. But if you look at this from the outside perspective, not the one that the writers are lying about, all of these people are horrific. Betazed had an amazing leader who wanted to look after his own people and understood the world, and they're like, no, you should listen to all these ignorant people that have been indoctrinated by teachers their entire life who'd have no idea what they're dealing with. It is an absolutely incredible pitch of why you should listen to incompetent people who have no idea what they're talking about. It's all an emotional play and manipulation to get what they want personally. It is emotional blackmail, parasitic behaviour, and he was right to leave. That's why this show is aimed at kids, because they think they can put such blunt messaging in this, and it'll just be swallowed down, it'll be internalised, because this is what they think that Star Trek always was. When people on Twitter go, Star Trek was always... That's what they mean. They mean Star Trek was always there to indoctrinate people. And now that's true. They have made the perfect version of what they thought Star Trek always was, because there's various levels that you can understand something on. And now we make entertainment at like the bottom few levels, but we used to make entertainment for the peak of people, and then everyone understood it on their own level. All the people go, Star Trek was always down here. And so they've made the version of Star Trek that they could understand. And that's the problem with Hollywood, that you need better people. You need people that can actually comprehend the ideas that need to be comprehended to make the best entertainment. These people don't even understand subtext or subtlety, or why if you hit somebody around the face with a moral message, they don't take it. This episode was so transparent and so obviously incorrect and easy to argue against. I don't know who this will convince, except for the extremely young demographic that they're targeting this at. The reason why they couldn't make an adult Star Trek is because they actually require more. They require reasoned arguments. They require truth. They require deeds, not just feelings. And there's no way Kurtzman, or the rest of the people that he seems to think are talented, can ever replicate that. And I don't think they're even capable of understanding why. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe, more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.